Dusty Moore, will he play Friday?
Dusty completed training, and we'll pick the side this afternoon, but we anticipate that he'll play.
How important, Coach, is it for your players now to sort of, I suppose, dispel any doubts in his own mind and yours, and get through a game rather than going in, I suppose, fresh with some element of doubt?
Because he's playing, it's very important. If he wasn't playing, it's not that important. I think either way, so Geordie's probably in the other boat, and maybe even, Geordie's probably the main one. That we'll look at, that won't be available this week, but we'll look at in our first final, whatever that is, and Geordie will be able to train up really, really well between now and then, and be cherry ripe. He's a player that comes in really well fresh. For Darcy, I think it's as I said, it's a win-win. For him to be up and about and be able to have a run around is important, but we're not projecting beyond Friday night. We've got to go out and perform on Friday, and Darcy's a part of that. So he hasn't been preparing just to play, he's been preparing to perform. So that's what we expect of him Friday night.
Are you worried another hamstring injury for Darcy might mean he might have to sit out a few weeks?
I think that's the risk that every footballer carries is of injury, but you can only ever prepare the individuals as best you possibly can, and the game's it's a solid game, and it does go up a couple of notches when you come to this time of the year. So I dare say that every side will have bodies that break at some point between now and the end of September, and you're trying to get the most out of them and have as many stand up as you can.
Can you afford to sit out any of the good players, particularly because you are fighting for a spot in the top four this week?
Yeah, I think we're in the position that our final ladder position can shift and can change. I think we've been attitudinally able to focus on what's right in front of us and make the most of sort of these moments rather than projecting too far forward. So I think that's been a real strength of our playing group to be able to do that. So we just want to perform really well on Friday and continue some momentum that we've been able to build over last month.
Just with Darcy, is there a mental aspect when he's getting over injuries? He had a long time there with that hamstring last year, a long time this year. Is there a bit of a barrier for him when he's coming back off injury?
I think there is for every footballer, but he's played a lot more footy this year than last, and he's in much better shape. Done a lot more work, and we've had him jump plenty of hoops and through plenty of hoops and over plenty of hurdles in the last sort of month. So we wouldn't pick him if we didn't think he was in good shape.
And he played. I mean, there's been talk you might swing him forward, but you're playing back, given the 4 months. Seems to be operating pretty well.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. We'll do what we think's best for us.
But Asia's training well.
Yep.
He's potentially another guy who's targeting that first final. How realistic would it be that we could miss 5 games, 6 weeks with the pre-finals bye, and then come straight in?
That's another hypothetical that we're still a fair way away from dealing with, mate. So it's not really worth going there at the moment.
Can you give us an update? Able to come straight in? Do you think that the work that he's done while he's been not playing?
Oh, look, his attitude and his work rate's been amazing. We couldn't have asked any more from him. The way he's applied himself into his training block. We had a small win this week, and fortuitous that we had a Friday night game this weekend. So Jayden plays in the VFL on Saturday, which gives him a run around, and that will be another progression for him, which is something that works in our favour and in his, and gives him probably another step up in a match situation before having to come back a couple of weeks later.
Was that earlier than expected, the VFL?
I think it was the way that we understood it was just 10 AFL games, and if we were scheduled to play on Saturday night, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So check that with the AFL, so to be able to, for Jayden to be able to sort of play with our VFL side this weekend is, it's a small win. It's not AFL level, but it gives him a chance to run around in a match scenario and take that next step.
Is it a bit of a headache, I guess? Is he in the same sort of boat as Geordie? Would you be concerned about bringing in two of those guys to the same forward?
Well, once again, we're projecting past Friday, but we'll make those assessments when we get there. But if they're ready, they're ready. If they're not, they're not.
There's extra excitement in Jayden knowing that he can return this weekend.
Oh, he's, I think if you've missed as much footy as he has, he's looking forward to be able to get involved in the cut and thrust as soon as possible. So I think he's wrapped that the all clear came through.
You've done a good job of restricting Essendon's scoring in recent encounters. Do you think you've changed much as a defensive unit since you last encountered? Ended up being quite a dour, low-scoring game last time we played on Anzac Day. I think not just Essendon, but I think we're the third best defence across the competition for the year, a point behind Hawthorn and a good 20 goals behind Geelong, who are clearly the best defensive unit from a scoring perspective. And so we think our defence has stood up pretty well across the season. So we think that's as much about your on-ball pressure as it is what you do set up behind the ball. And Essendon are a team that do challenge that with the way that they move the ball. It definitely is an opportunity for us and a challenge for us to be able to control that aspect of the game. And it's as I said, it is a strength area of theirs that we need to quell if we want to get the result we need.
Would you be comfortable for Justin Longmuir to go through a process with Fremantle between now and the end of your season?
Well, I think that's inevitable, and I think that Freo are actually interested in Justin, and he's been huge for us. Speaking to him briefly this morning, I think he can walk and chew gum at the same time, and he's been excellent for us over the last couple of seasons, and I'm pretty sure that he can manage whatever interest may come from there. And I don't believe he's had contact yet, but I'm sure that he can balance that up with what we need from him, and that when he's here, he'll give absolutely 100% of himself to our campaign, because in the short term, that is what he wants to do to make the most of what this is in 2019.
He's ready to be a senior coach. He's ready.
Oh, look, I think he's been so impressive. He's aspired to senior coaching, through his journey, and he's continued to school himself up. I think the way his relationship building with the players has been first class to organise the defensive unit, and quite a deep group of players that we've had to rotate through there and have them ready to play role, and energised and motivated to support each other to get the job done has been exceptional. I've got no doubt that he can do the job, and it's up to the club that looks at him to work out whether he's the right fit.
Are you too worried about Tom Bellchambers playing this weekend?
We'll get to have a look at their squad, I think, tomorrow. So in the end,
Would be worried.
No, I reckon. Look, he's missed a bit of footy himself. So if he does come back in this game, he's clearly a very strong ruckman. He's been very important for them through the year. They'll have to do something there with Clark out. Whether it's McKernan or Hooker or in fact whether Tom Bellchambers comes back in. But Broads has been pretty strong against all opponents, and he's prepared for whoever's thrown at him.
Just to go back to Jayden Stevenson,
Yep.
how have your processes and education, around gambling changed since his suspension?
Yeah, look, I think most of our education around gambling is done through pre-season, but it is ongoing with individuals. But I think what we were aware of and declared at the time is that there couldn't have been any more education about it. It was just a silly mistake by a young player who didn't think it through. So I think he's learned his lesson, and that's what happens when you get what you love most taken away from you.
Will Wellesley play this week?
Yeah, look, he's got to pull up well. I'm sort of hesitant, but he's talking to him after training. He feels like he's going to be able to stand up on Saturday, which is a remarkable sort of return from that PCL injury. And there were times even over the last couple of weeks where it might not have come to fruition. And as I said, he still needs to pull up well, but he's put in a power of work, and there would have been times when he would have thought he'd already played his last game of footy. So for him, if he gets there to run out on Saturday, is a significant moment for a bloke who has had a storied career at the Kangaroos and now here. And the only thing I spoke to him about was, enjoying the opportunity to run out and play a game of footy. Like, as I said, he would have known whether it was going to come or not, and we think it will, and we want it to be a positive experience for him.
Sire as well, VFL?
Yes, we believe he got through the training sessions, and I think a little bit of the last couple of weeks, he was actually crook for the last sort of week and a half. So the back part of his, when he was going to project forward with his calf recovery, he actually was too ill to. The week before the incident of him on that Monday night, he was ill, so he didn't complete any of the training sessions. So there's a bit of grey area there for him, but it's really clear that he still trusts what clubs are built on and good teams are built on, and he's going along the process of regaining that.